Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the channel today. This is Paul from Kentucky Tacklebox. Today, I want to talk about something a little different regarding fishing lures. And this has happened to me quite a bit, and I'm sure if you do a lot of bank fishing, you're probably having the same experience. What happened the other day was I was out at the lake doing some bank fishing, and I looked down, and lo and behold, there's a crankbait that somebody had snagged up on shore. And then once the area of the lake water level came down, it exposed this lure and then occasionally other lures as well. And I'm sure if you do any bank fishing, you've probably seen the same thing. And sometimes you end up with a free lure for the trouble. You know, you just happen to be out there and you spot one that somebody snagged up and broke off a while ago, and now you've got a new lure to add to your tackle box. So anyway, what this lure is, it's a crankbait, and it's a pretty decent size one. I'd say it's about the size of a pretty good size, like a chub shad, perhaps it could be, or maybe even a small juvenile bluegill or other type of panfish. You know, it might be a good analog for that. But the treble hooks on this thing are pretty huge. It's kind of hard to tell from the picture here, but they are really, really enormous treble hooks. Maybe I can put a pen or something here next to them so you kind of see how big they actually are. So if you look at it with it compared to the pen, these things have got some enormous trebles on them. So I think a lure like this is probably best served, fishing for larger species than what I normally target, because I don't normally target, the biggest species I typically target will be bass or white bass. I don't go after, the larger species. So I decided that I would look through my gear, and I have some various sizes of treble hooks that I've bought in to modify other lures with and that. So I found something that's a little bit smaller than what's on here. So I dug through and I picked up a couple here. That's a match set, and they're a little bit smaller for size wise. Let's see, maybe if I back them up here, it'll make it easier to see kind of the difference in that. But yeah, so I'll try to go from a table view. But yeah, you can see they're definitely a bit smaller. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the larger treble hooks that were on this lure that I found and just put a smaller set on. And then I'm going to use this basically for bass fishing instead of whatever this lure was originally designed for. And I'm guessing with the size of those trebles, probably something, a species that was maybe slightly larger than bass, or they were going for some really big bass. But I'm going to do that because I figure the lure was free anyway. I found it along the shore, and it would better serve my needs, and I think it'd better fit the type of fish that are in my area that I'm fishing for. So something to think about, if you do come across some lures and you think, wow, that's a cool lure, but then you look at it and you think, hey, geez, is that little lure too big or too small from what I'm using? And maybe what you can do is just modify it with some of your own gear. You can upsize the hooks, you can downsize the hooks on it. That those type of options might be able to allow you to fish it more for the species that you target, whether they be bass or something else. So it's good to think about things like that when you find these lures, because when you fish, we always lose lures ourselves, and it's nice once in a while to actually get one back, even if it happens to be due to someone else's misfortune. But that's kind of the way fishing works. You lose some lures, sometimes you find some lures. So the lake giveth and the lake taketh away, I guess, is the best analogy for that. But I'm going to modify these today, and then I'll have this in my add this to my crankbaits, and that way next time I'm out I can throw it around, especially in the fall feed up, because a lot of times bass are looking for a larger size meal, and I think this lure is a really good size for a hungry bass that's into the fall feed up mode. I think it would really be do a good job, maybe trying to catch some bass on it. So hopefully. When I get out, I'll try it here next time I'm out near the big water, whether it be on a lake or a large river. And that's where I'm going to pretty much target this lure to use. I think it's way oversized for creek fishing, but for large rivers or lakes, it would be ideal. So, anyway, just some food for thought. If you're finding lures, but they don't exactly fit your needs, you might be able to still modify them to make them work for you with the minimal of expense, if you have to just change the hook size or something. So as always, thanks again for watching, and get outdoors when you can. It's a great place to be. And right now we're getting into some of the best weather for fishing this time of the year in Kentucky. So hope you make it out there, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.